Good evening. I'm Larry Cunningham, the Dean and Provost of Charleston School of Law, and on behalf of President Bell, the Board of Directors, the faculty, staff, and alumni of the school, I'm delighted to welcome everyone to these commencement exercises. Please remain standing for the national anthem, which will be performed by the Charleston Brass. Please be seated. Good evening and happy holidays. Today is a day of celebration and for giving thanks. Today is about our graduates. Today is your day. I'd like you to think back to 3 or 4 years ago when you began your journey that led you to this point. One day in August or January, you sat in a classroom either in 385 Meeting Street or 81 Mary Street, and you probably did not know anyone. You had orientation, you heard Dean Bell tell you interesting facts in her "This is your class" remarks. You read and briefed your very first case, the first of many more to come. Very quickly, you made friends, formed study groups, and joined student organizations. You met our outstanding faculty and saw why they are routinely recognized in the top 10 of all schools in Princeton Review for excellence in teaching. You met our career services professionals and saw how they would help you get internships and jobs. You sat through assessments and final exams, completed numerous writing assignments, and yes, read countless cases. We celebrated together your successes and accomplishments in moot court, mock trial, and our new transactional law team. We learned together through the Law Review's Law and Society Symposia with the Riley Institute of Furman University, and through the many professionalism series talks the school put on. We cheered the students who went before you and all of their successes. You also contributed to the mission of the school. Our law school was founded on a very special mission of pro bono populi. It's Latin for the good of the people. That mission is reflected in our pro bono program, where students volunteer their legal talents with organizations like the Center for Heirs Property, the Public Defender's Office, Charleston Pro Bono Legal Services, the Probate Court, and 180 Place. We are all proud of what you have accomplished and what you will go on to achieve as lawyers. And your voices and talents are needed now more than ever. The fight for justice takes many forms, whether it is representing those with or without means. The rule of law depends on our profession to function. So whether you will go on to practice corporate law or criminal law, personal injury, family law, or any of the other many areas of practice, whether you will do so in a firm, for the government, a corporation, or nonprofit, you will serve this important ideal by ensuring that it is the law that governs our disputes and our transactions, not brute force, not bribery, not threats, not arbitrary whim. And as you look ahead to your careers, I encourage you to reflect upon what has been involved with your journey to this point. There was college, studying for the LSAT, taking the LSAT, applying to law schools, reading all of those cases, taking all those exams and assessments and writing projects, completing your pro bono hours, your upper level writing requirement, working in externships and jobs. All of that hard work led you to this point. And now, so that we can offer our congratulations to you, I ask that the graduates of the class of 2023 to stand and be recognized. Professor Ali thinks this is about him, have a seat. But you didn't get here alone. You were supported along the way by your families, your friends, your spouses, children, neighbors, nephews, nieces, siblings, and significant others, many of whom are here with us or who are watching by live stream. And so that you can show your appreciation to them, I ask you to once again stand, but this time to share your gratitude with everyone in the audience who helped you get to this point today. Throughout law school, you were supported by the world-class faculty of the Charleston School of Law. Our faculty are not only experienced attorneys, teachers, but they are also mentors. They challenged you to become crisper writers, better thinkers, and ethical professionals. I ask that members of the faculty, including our adjunct faculty, to please stand and be recognized. I'd like to now recognize 4 people who are playing very special roles in today's ceremony. The first is our lead student marshal, Shane Hirsch, who is president of the Student Bar Association. Mr. Hirsch is an accomplished student and a dedicated student leader. Shane? The second is Professor William Jansen, who will be reading the names of the graduates a bit later. Many of you had Professor Jansen for Civil Procedure 1 and 2 or Products Liability. He both challenged and supported you through these difficult courses while at the same time serving as a role model and mentor. Professor Jansen. The faculty also includes today's faculty marshal, Professor and Associate Dean for Faculty Research and Development, Dylan Malagrino. The honor of faculty marshal is bestowed upon a faculty member who excels in all 3 pillars of law professors: teaching, scholarship, and service. Professor Malagrino is not only an accomplished professor, teaching often in excess of 20 credits a year. He teaches property, wills, trusts, and estates, advanced property electives, sports law, but he's also an accomplished author of books and many law review articles. Professor and Dean Malagrino. Our law school is committed to student success. It is our most important goal. The role of Grand Marshal is bestowed on an employee, faculty, administrator, or staff who exemplifies this commitment. This ceremony's Grand Marshal is Linda Edereri, the law school's testing coordinator. Many of you may not know Ms. Edereri, but she is responsible for all aspects of the exam and grading process. This process is much more complicated than many people realize, and it has to be done right. Day in and day out, Ms. Ederary works quietly but effectively to make sure that the academic assessment process works the way it should. She pays careful attention to detail, but more importantly, offers a smile to everyone who comes into her office. We are grateful to Ms. Ederary for all that she does for students and the school. And now, a final bit of advice. As you go out into the profession, remember this. You remain members of the Charleston School of Law community forever. That means we have your backs as you study for that little exam coming up in February, the bar exam. But it also means if you're looking for a job, if you decide to change jobs, hopefully become a judge or run for political office, we're here for you. I encourage you to get involved with alumni events and give back by mentoring the next generation of law students. And now to offer his words of welcome and congratulations, I'm pleased to introduce our friend and the president of the law school, Ed Bell.
I remember when I was preparing for the bar exam, it was no small feat. And back then, when I got the letter, not the email or something like that, I was out of town. And I called home or somehow, and my wife said, "You got the letter." And we didn't know whether to open it or not. and so whatever you guys can do to help these folks, do so. It's a tough thing. It's a rite of passage, but we have a pretty good bar passage rate, some of the best in the nation, so we'll do well. Thank you. Honored graduates, families, and friends, today, on behalf of the Charleston School of Law, I extend a heartfelt welcome to this distinguished graduating class and their families. This momentous occasion signifies an unparalleled achievement, one that sets you apart and will forever remain unique in your personal and professional journey. As we celebrate your accomplishments in legal education, it is crucial to acknowledge the unwavering dedication and perseverance you have demonstrated throughout this challenging yet rewarding journey. The support of your families and friends present here today has undoubtedly played a pivotal role in your success, and for that we are truly thankful. Reflecting on your law school journey, I recall the passion and belief you exhibited when you embarked on this path. In just a few short years, our law school has risen to national prominence, with our faculty earning well-deserved attention. The highest bar passage rate in our school's history is a testament to the excellence of our graduates. I know you're sitting here and most of you are asking, what is next? My life as I know it is now over. You're wondering, how will my life be different tomorrow when I wake up? What will be my perspective? Well, I think differently. Am I really smarter? Some even will ask, like I did, that's really a good question. Some will even ask, like I did I really do this? How would they let me graduate? Am I able to be what is expected of me? The age-old question that haunts everyone when they begin a new life is, what is next? Can I handle the next stage of my life? The answer is simple. Yes, you can. And you have proven that by being able to sit here today. Planning for your future is the easiest right now. You will never have less obligations. Life will get more complicated. So now is a good time to consider a few of life's lessons. While there are many, I will only mention a few to get you started. Great work only comes from those who do work that they love. Think about that a second. Great work only comes from those who do work that they love. Don't mess up in this area. There is something about passion that drives excellence. Your inner self will help guide you to make sure your focus is on helping others first. And if that is your focus, the other things in life fall in place. Always keep your integrity. Integrity is one of the fundamental values that defines ourselves. It is the hallmark of a person who demonstrates sound moral and ethical principles. Integrity is the foundation upon which we build trust and effective relationships. If I could speak to only one value by which we should live, it would be this: integrity is forever. Integrity means doing the right thing at all times, in all circumstances, whether or not anyone is watching. Courage is an important part of integrity, since sometimes it takes courage to do the right things. Your honor, your integrity is that important. Integrity in life keeps the soul righteous and the moral compass calibrated. Many of you are asking, how can I do all of this? I have been trained in legal theory, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do next. May I suggest a pathway for you to take? Ask a fundamental question that goes to the heart of the beginning of this self-analysis you're going through. Ask yourself, who am I? Who am I really? This question is one that you should study and take some time to explore. Figuring out the answer may take some time, because the answer to the question, if you get it right, will guide you forward. I have spoken on this before and believe so much in this concept that I'm compelled to review this again with you. Excuse me. It is a particularly unique and perplexing question that you should ask yourself and dwell on for some time. I wish I could answer it for you to make it easier on you, but it's not the kind of question that lends itself to simple answers. The answer will not come easily, and the answer today is probably much different than it was when you started law school. Who am I is an inspirational question that should bring forth emotion and some internal struggle, and yes, some honesty. This question of who am I may need some time to answer, but it is the first and foremost question that should evoke curious brain cells to assist in that answer. But answer it you must. Who am I? Who am I really? But as you ponder the answer, you'll find that the question is one that lives with you always. So don't get behind. Start working on it now. And let me suggest a couple of suggestions. I'll give you a couple of suggestions. Be open to a possible change in direction. Now, I've had parents after graduation, after I say that to the graduates, make a change in your direction. And they say, what are you doing? Why are you asking them to do that? This is the only time in their life they have less obligations, and they can take a little time. Be open to that possible change. This is a moment in time that will never be repeated. You may have plans for the immediate future, but you may wish to think about something entirely different. Take a break, a gap year or two, and do something not planned. Maybe take a little time to do something that you never thought of before. Do some charity work. Take a mission trip. Work in the inner city and help those in need. Join the Peace Corps. Take care of your older grandparent. Work in a political campaign. As you wonder who you are, you'll find that special person inside of you that has passion for helping your neighbors and those less fortunate than you. You'll learn to pair that passion with kindness and a sincere desire to make life better for others. You may also have a chance to be a little troublemaker. Go have some fun. And while you're doing something that you never dreamed of doing, and when you're finished, start your life with your law degree and with the purpose of making this world a better place. Fight for justice. Fight for equality for everyone. And create a better world for everyone. Are you equipped to resolve the most pressing issues? Were you trained to take on these responsibilities? But didn't you start your legal training in kindergarten? Yes. I said kindergarten. And in fact, a book was written about it. All I Need to Know, I Learned in Kindergarten. Robert Fulghum, the author, opined that wisdom was not at the top of the graduate school mountain, but in the sand pile at Sunday school and kindergarten. You know, we learned a lot in kindergarten. We learned to share everything, play fair, don't hit people, put things back where you found them, clean up your own mess, don't take things that aren't yours, say you're sorry when you hurt someone, wash your hands before you eat, flush. Warm cookies and cold milk are good. Take a nap every afternoon. Hold hands, stick together, watch for traffic. The golden rule. Everything you know is in there somewhere. The golden rule in love and basic sanitation, ecology, politics, and equality, and sane living. You didn't learn that in law school. You learned that early on in your life. You now have it all from kindergarten to law school. You were well-trained, smart. You made it. And it wasn't a small mountain that you climbed either. I will keep up with you as you go forward and ask you from time to time how you're doing. I will also be interested in how you are making a difference. Are you a beacon to those who need someone to help them have hope? Did you defend the poor just as you defended the rich? Did you speak for those who have no voice? Have you kept your integrity? Did you raise your hand when you're needed? And most importantly, did you stand up when given the chance? When someone asked for help, did you stand up? I'm extremely proud of all of you. Congratulations on your graduation from law school.
Thank you, President Bell. The first law school in the South was formed right here in Charleston in 1825. Known as the Forensic Club, it was chartered by the General Assembly in December of that year. Shortly thereafter, U. Swinton LeGree delivered the first in a course of law lectures. The Forensic Club, long dormant, was revived in 2003 when the original charter was assigned to the Charleston School of Law. Today, to quote former Professor Andy Abrams, the Charleston School of Law has the unique distinction of being both the oldest and the youngest law school in South Carolina. Today, we recognize two of our graduates as new members of the Charleston School of Law Forensic Club. Their selection is based on three criteria: demonstrated leadership, professionalism, and academic commitment. Each of the individuals selected has abundantly demonstrated and met these requirements. This year's inductees are Matthew Decker, who couldn't join today, and Kyrie Ford. Please stand. At this time, I'm pleased to call upon my friend, Professor Margaret Lawton, the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs, to present the degree candidates.
Will the candidates for degrees please rise? Dean Cunningham, I have the privilege on behalf of the faculty of the Charleston School of Law to certify that the candidates presented for degrees have completed the requirements for the degree of Juris Doctor and are recommended for the conferral of their degrees in due course.
Thank you, Dean Lawton. Having received the testimony of the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs that you, the candidates, have satisfactorily complied with all of the requirements demanded by our academic regulations, and by the authority vested in me by the Board of Directors, the South Carolina Commission on Higher Education, the American Bar Association, and on the recommendation of the Associate Dean for Academic Affairs and the faculty, I confer upon each of you the degree of Juris Doctor, together with all of the rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities thereto. Congratulations, graduates. Please be seated. And now the moment you have all worked so long and so hard for, the presentation of the graduates for individual recognition. Graduates, as your name is called, please advance to the podium to be hooded by Dean Lawton and take 2 pictures, once as you are hooded and then another with me. Would members of the graduating class please come forward and be recognized?
Ethan Zane Brogan. Rachel Maria Castell. Kristen Fox Crow, cum laude. Luke Bowman Dalton. Taylor Adrian Force. Kyrie Kamani Ford. Tony Lynn Gautney, summa cum laude. Graham Colin Gillen. Rebecca Caitlin Goff. Miranda Alyssa Graves. Harper Samantha Hott. Casey Elizabeth Herm. Elena Marie Hoven. Navish Javed. Madeline Lee King, cum laude. Michael Herbert Liebacker III. David George Lothar. Siobhan Charity McGovern, cum laude. Jeffrey Charles McKinney. Crawford Austin Morgan. Kira Marie Rote, magna cum laude. Catherine Genevieve Sexton, cum laude. Monica Shea Smith. Preston Blake Spradley. Mark Zidanowitz.
Thank you, Professor Jansen and Dean Lawton. Graduates, congratulations again. I'm now call upon Ryan Andrews, Vice President of the Charleston School of Law Alumni Association, a graduate of the class of 2013, and a newly named name partner of Cobb Hammett Scapoletto Andrews, to welcome you, our newest graduates, to the ranks of our alumni. Ryan.
Thank you, Dean Cunningham. Dean Cunningham, President Bell, family, friends, and our honored graduates, thank you for including me on this special day. On behalf of the Charleston School of Law alumni, it's my honor to welcome you, the graduates, as the newest members of the alumni of the Charleston School of Law. I know all of you have lots of celebrating to do this evening, so I'll keep my remarks brief, but what a great time of year to celebrate. Now, it's hard for me to believe that I was in your shoes over a decade ago now, and I'll tell you, time flies. I wanted to give you some advice and tell you a couple things I've learned over the past 10 plus years as an alum, and touch on what some of our notable alum have accomplished since leaving the Charleston School of Law. First, some advice: the bar exam. Whether you're taking it in February or later, you obviously have to prepare. But do yourself a favor and try not to burn yourself out while studying. I know, easier said than done, right? But you won't be doing yourself any favors if you burn yourself out studying and don't take a step back to collect yourself. You've made it through law school. You know what studying works and doesn't work for you. So remember and do what works for you. Second, as you embark on your new legal careers, do not be afraid to ask for help. You're not going to know everything, as the law is an ever-evolving field. Chances are, though, you have colleagues out there that have encountered similar legal issues. So ask for help, as you will not need to necessarily reinvent the wheel as you navigate through a confusing legal issue. You can ask for help from our alumni, which now includes you, your fellow classmates, and alumni of the past. You can also ask for help from the faculty and staff here at Charleston School of Law. To this day, I still ask and rely on help and advice on legal concepts from my classmates, alumni of the past, as well as some of our esteemed professors and faculty. The school and alumni are here to help you as you go and begin your legal careers and as you continue through them, so don't forget that. And it's important that throughout your legal careers that you remain civil to one another, even against attorneys who you're up against. We all know the practice of law is an unavoidable adversarial job, and we all know that as attorneys, we have a duty to zealously advocate for our clients. However, this does not mean that you cannot or should not remain uncivil with your opponent while still fighting for your client. You'll learn that in a lot of cases, you'll be able to reach a more favorable result for your client if you're civil with opposing counsel rather than having an unnecessary battle or losing your cool with them. It's also not uncommon for opposing attorneys to be friends and grab a lunch or happy hour with one another. It's also not uncommon for opposing attorneys to ask for advice from each other or refer cases to each other. So being civil is also important, as you never know who you may be trying to work for in the future and never know who may become a judge in which you were before in the future. So be civil in your practice. Now that you're alumni, you've joined an esteemed group that has accomplished, even though the Charleston School of Law has a relatively young history, despite the Forensic Club being back in the 1800s. You're now part of a group with members who serve as in-house counsel in multi-billion-dollar corporations and businesses. You're now part of a group with members who serve as mayors, state legislators, and we have a member in the United States House of Representatives and Congress. We have members who are faculty and professors here and other esteemed institutions throughout the country. You're now part of a group who serve as public defenders and prosecutors. Our alumni also include members who serve as public interest and pro bono attorneys. And for whatever reason, we have an alum who's on reality television. But as you can see, you're now part of a group that has been given all the tools to succeed from the Charleston School of Law. So please come back after you leave today. Please stay in touch with your fellow alumni in this school and share the successes you'll undoubtedly accomplish. Come back and ask for help when you need it, and also come back to help out the alumni of the future. Congratulations on now being members of the alumni of Charleston School of Law. I hope you and your families have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
We would be remiss if we did not thank some key people who helped to assure that today's ceremony would be a wonderful celebration. I ask you to first recognize the members of the Charleston Brass and our interpreters, Chantel Craig-Williams and Samantha Sculo, and representatives from AV Connections and Grad Images, the photographer. A special thank you to the interpreters who have to put up with a former New Yorker who talks fast. I would also like to thank Shane Hirsch, Ryan Andrews, Professors Malagrino and Jansen, Linda Edereri, and President Bell for their participation. Please join me in extending appreciation as well to all of the Charleston School of Law staff and administration and our student marshals, Jessica Hernandez, Amber Locklear, Corinna Mullen, and Jack Smalley, who put countless hours of hard work into making today's event such a joyous success. From our staff and administration, I may leave someone out, so forgive me, but thank you to Kristen Ash, Jacqueline Bell, Tally Craven, Andrew Gregoire, Jessica Cancer, Laura Lake, Christy Laurenti, Grady Mason, Lisa Ream, Sandra Restrepo, Diane Rexroad, Nick Sanders, Vic Silvis, John Struble, Monica Toomer, and Taylor Withers. I invite each of you to join us following the ceremony for a reception in honor of our graduates. That reception will be held next door in the lobby of the Charleston Museum. Graduates, as is the tradition, there will be a group photo taken of the graduating class. This picture will be taken on the stairs in the museum lobby. After the group photo, you can then join your family and friends for the party. Marshals will be available for anyone requiring assistance. Thank you and good night.